It's Monday, August 18th, and here's some of the news beyond the headlines. Pakistan's leader is facing the biggest challenge yet to his 15-month-old government. Tens of thousands of people have gathered in the streets of the capital Islamabad over the past several days to demand that Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif step down. The marches were planned after reports surfaced of vote rigging in the election that brought Sharif to power last year. Cricket player turned politician Imran Khan has called for a campaign of civil disobedience, while opposition leader and cleric Tahir al-Qadri is urging his supporters to start a revolution. Fear and misinformation have posed another setback to Liberia's efforts to contain the Ebola outbreak. Protesters attacked and looted a quarantine center in a densely populated area of the capital Monrovia on Saturday. At least 17 people who were being observed at the center fled, and 10 others were removed by their families. Officials say some of the protesters were angry the virus was brought to their neighborhood, and that others were trying to shut the facility down. Liberian authorities have tried to quarantine remote villages to stop the virus, leaving residents the choice between being cut off from the outside world and spreading the disease further. Somalia's government is calling on militia and clan leaders to give up the weapons that have saturated the streets since the end of the country's civil war 20 years ago. Government forces and African Union troops seized a cache of weapons in a raid on a former warlord's home in Mogadishu on Friday. At least 20 militiamen were arrested in the operation, and gunfights between the two sides left several civilians injured. But even Somali authorities have been accused of mishandling arms shipments. A UN report earlier this year claimed weapons meant for the government were diverted to armed groups. A Brazilian government investigation has accused some of the world's biggest car makers of leaking information to the military dictators that ruled the country from the 1960s to the 1980s. Documents suggest local and multinational companies such as Toyota, Volkswagen, Ford, among others, secretly helped the junta identify those on their payrolls who the leaders perceived as a threat. A so-called blacklist was then circulated to other companies so that these people couldn't get jobs elsewhere after they were fired. Human rights activists say the documents prove that companies conspired with the regime to repress workers. Check out the VICE News YouTube channel for more original reporting and documentaries from around the world.
Me pusieron las armas y todo y me decían que tenía que pagar como los demás y me querían amarrar y tirar ahí al río ahí. Y yo les dije que no me iba a volver a asomar ahí y ellos dijeron, no, está bien, andate entonces y terminamos aquí a la próxima. No te dejamos ir así nomás, me dijeron.